Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Allison Paia. I'm the office manager here at Parent Teacher Home Visits, and we're so excited to be joined by you all today. I am also going to be one of the hosts of today, but I'm joined by an amazing team who helped to do all of the planning that brought Parent Teacher Home Visits Week together. So I would like to start us off in introducing the rest of our team and hosts for today's session. I'll go ahead and start with just down below my video. I see DQ or DeQuendra, sorry.
No worries. Thank you, Allison. Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm DeQuendra Neely Bertrand, or as everybody else calls me, DQ. I am Communications Director here at Parent Teacher Home Visits, and I'm delighted to see you all. I will pass to Gina.
Thank you, DQ. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Gina Martinez-Ketty. I'm the Executive Director for Parent Teacher Home Visits, and I will pass it on to Yesenia.
Thank you, Gina. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yesenia Ramirez. I am one of the founding parents of Parent Teacher Home Visit. I am also the senior advisor for the organization. I will pass it over to Rachel.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Rachel Bryce, and I'm the program director for Parent Teacher Home Visits. So glad to have you join us celebrate today. Allie?
Thank you all. So to get things started, we're going to move into a little bit of housekeeping. So here on the screen, if as you'll see, we would like to ask you if you could type your name and organization and your role into the chat box. We would greatly appreciate just knowing who's in attendance with us today. Next, if you can stay engaged and post questions throughout the presentation, feel free to drop questions and comments throughout today's session in the chat box. Please keep yourself on mute unless you're sharing. And we would love it if you could turn on your videos if possible. We love seeing faces and who we're talking to today. And then lastly, if you could share us on social media, you can use our Twitter handle. It's at PTHVP, all caps. And then you could also use our hashtags, hashtag PTHV week, and then hashtag PTHV turns 25. Thank you all so much. We're going to keep things moving and go into our goals and agenda for today. I'm going to hand it over to Gina.
Right. Thank you, Allison. I'm going to run through very quickly our goals and agenda for today. So today we really wanted to give ourselves a chance to connect with one another across this amazing PTHV community. And then we also wanted to celebrate our the impact that we had during PTHV week, both individually and collectively. And then finally, we wanted to strategize on how can we build on the successes that we all had during PTHV week moving forward. And we're going to hopefully accomplish those goals for today through 5 primary agenda items. So first of all, we're going to remind ourselves about the purpose and goals of PTHV week. Second, we're going to share the collective national impact that we all had together during the week. And then third, we're going to give you all a chance to do some collaboration and reflection and action planning in small groups. And then fourth, we have a few recommended next steps that we'll share with you. And then finally, last but definitely not least, we're going to be announcing the individual educators and the individual school districts that are going to be receiving awards for their PTHV week efforts this year. All right, so let's go ahead and get going with our agenda. And let's first of all remind ourselves about what were the goals of PTHV week. Now, you may remember that this PTHV week was the very first year that we have ever done PTHV week at a national level. And so when we started thinking about the idea, we said, well, we really want to do this week to accomplish 4 goals. And the first one was really to celebrate educators and families, and particularly for the priority that they give to building relationships of trust with each other. And then second, we really wanted to get the word out about PTHV and build support for it, both locally as well as nationally. And then third, we wanted to encourage educators and families to do as many home visits as possible during that week. And then last, we wanted to evaluate and share the impact that we have during PTHV week, both locally and nationally. So how did we do on meeting these goals? I am thrilled to share that I think we've met all those goals during PTHV week. And before I kind of talk about these numbers with you a little bit, I do want to share just 3 reflections before I go into the numbers. And the first reflection is that I am in fact thrilled at the results of PTHV week. And I have to say, I'm not entirely surprised by the results, because after all, it was you all and many others who were not able to join today that did it. And we have an amazing PTHV community out there. And so, of course, it's no wonder that we met our goals because of you all. The second thing I want to reflect on is that when we talk about collective impact, that doesn't happen without local people. So I know many of you can think back to all the planning meetings you were in to prepare for PTHV week, all the forms you maybe filled out, the emails that you sent, the home visits that you did, right, the scheduling phone calls that you did. Every one of those actions that you and your colleagues took adds up to this collective impact. So I just want to recognize that. And then the third thing that I want to reflect on is just to say that I am so full of gratitude for each and every one of you, not just for your commitment to PTHV week, and not even just for your commitment to the PTHV practice, but really for your commitment to supporting and developing relationships of trust between educators and families, because as you know, at its heart, that's really what we're all about. So thank you for that. So now let me go through these numbers with you. So we had 29 organizations, distinct organizations, registered to participate in PTHV week. Most of those were school districts and schools, but we had a little smattering of other organizations who also wanted to join in on the fun. And that participation looked very different across all the organizations. And there was a lot of creativity, I think, that went into PTHV week celebrations. But I want to lift up 3 in particular. One of them is out of Washoe County, Nevada. They very smartly and strategically engaged their new superintendent in PTHV week. So they got her to go on some home visits, and guess what came out of that? They now have a huge champion and supporter at the very top leadership level in their district. And you can imagine what kind of ripple effect that might have on their local practice. So great job, Washoe County. And then the second example I want to lift up is in Sacramento, California. They made a decision that they really wanted to take PTHV week and take some time to recognize and appreciate their home visit educators. And so they put together boxes of school supplies, and they went out and hand delivered those boxes to their home visit educators in all, I think, 40 something or 50 something schools that they have participating in parent teacher home visits. And of course, you know, first of all, teachers don't get recognized enough and appreciated enough for what they do. But also we know that when people get appreciated, they're more likely to stay engaged over the long run. So great job, Sacramento also. And then the third one I want to lift up is out of Windsor, Connecticut. And they developed an amazing social media campaign that really created a buzz about their local home visit practice. And even now, a few weeks after PTHV week, they are still building on that buzz that they created during PTHV week. So I think those 3, so great job, Windsor, as well. I think it's really great to see that these and other school districts used PTHV week as kind of a starting point and to plant the seed for something that can have ripple effects, longer term beyond PTHV week. So great job, everyone, on that. The second number I want to share with you is 200 plus, right? We had more than 200 media mentions on PTHV week during that week. Some of that was as a result of things that we sent out at a national level. Some of it was media advisories and press releases that you all sent out at the local level. Some of them were quick mentions, others resulted in articles on websites, on blogs, on other kind of local periodicals. And that also includes 2 television news stories that Washoe County, Nevada generated for them for their PTHV week as well. So congratulations to all of us for that. The third number is that we had 109 schools participating in PTHV week throughout the country. From those 109 schools, there were 414 educators that participated. And those 414 educators did 1,080 parent-teacher home visits in just that 1 week. So I just want to take a moment here and let's celebrate this, right? Let's celebrate this collective impact. So if you could wave your hands or snap or use your reaction button to put a little celebration thing in there. Let's just step back and celebrate what we did together during that week. Now, I also want to end this slide by saying that the impact that we're celebrating here is not just about numbers, right? It really is about people, because behind every one of these numbers are people. And so when I look at those 1,080 home visits, I know that there was 1 student, at least 1 family member, and 2 educators that participated in that home visit. So that means over 4,000 people were impacted by parent-teacher home visits during that 1 week. And it's really their experience of parent-teacher home visits and how it impacts their lives. That's what really matters. And that's the impact that we're celebrating. And numbers is one way to kind of illustrate that. So many, many thanks to you all, and congratulations again to all of us for this collective impact. I am going to hand it over to Rachel now to take us to our small groups. Rachel?
All right, thank you, Gina, and hi, everyone. As the data shows, we accomplished so much together in recent weeks. PTHV week obviously helped to accelerate and amplify the impact of parent-teacher home visits, but it is our firm belief that what happens after the celebration is just as important. Now, with that said, we encourage each of you to really think about and strategically plan to act upon the interest that you've generated during your local observance. And to do that today, we're going to give you some time in small groups to share stories and discuss some strategies to leverage those recent successes. So you're going to have about 15 minutes to address the following prompts. The first is to simply share 1 or 2 impact stories from your local PTHV week. What has this meant for you personally, or for you or your school or your district? Then we invite you to brainstorm some possible next steps that you can take to really build upon the momentum and the positive impact of your local PTHV week. We will drop those links in the chat box for you to refer back to once you're in your groups. I do want to do a quick note. I know that there is a mixed group here today, and not everyone may have had a local PTHV week celebration, and that's okay. For those individuals, we ask that you listen in your small groups and then share out a key takeaway from what you've heard or learned, and then think about what this might mean for you moving forward in your particular context, and how can you kind of get your own community involved in this work moving forward. So you have 15 minutes. I hope you all have a productive conversation, and we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. I was able to join one breakout room, and it was such a rich conversation. There were some really great ideas that were being discussed. So with that said, I'm hoping that we can go ahead and capture some of that collective thinking. So before we move on, we would appreciate it if you would take 1 or 2 minutes and just share one solid strategy, tactic, next steps that you plan to go back to your school community and employ to really take advantage of your PTHV week successes. So go ahead and enter that into the chat box and see what we can come up with together. Getting your union involved. Yes, they have been longtime champions and supporters of this work. Thank you, Deborah. Getting student testimonies, their experience and voice represented. I love that. Trevin, sharing to create advocates outside of your team. Typically, we see that as the FACE team to make sure that others are helping to push this work forward. I totally agree. It is a team effort, and it's best done when we can really collaborate. There are some great ideas. I encourage you to go back and really think about how you're going to build on that success. So let's go ahead and let's talk about a few other suggested next steps that we have for you. First, as Gina shared earlier, this is our inaugural National PTHV Week. And because it's our first time doing this, we want to treat it as a learning opportunity. With the exception of Denver Public Schools, this is new to all of us. So with that said, it serves as a great baseline for future celebrations. We encourage you to allocate some time to really reflect on your PTHV week goals and the progress that you have made. Take stock of what worked well for you during PTHV week and maybe where you had some challenges or pitfalls, and use that to inform improvements to future celebrations. Yes, you might want to look at that quantitative data, like the numbers of participating teachers, the numbers of home visits completed. All of that can be helpful, but as it's been pointed out, the human element's really important as well. So be sure to get some feedback from your families and your educators. All of those reflection activities are important, and I can tell you it's something that we here at the national office is engaging in as well in this post kind of PTHV week time period. Now, while we do want you to kind of think about how you can improve future celebrations, we don't want you to lose sight of the accomplishments that you've had in recent weeks. Many of you have put in a lot of time and effort into your PTHV week, and you've had some real notable wins as a result. So take advantage of that. Let your stakeholders know about the impact that you've generated during PTHV week. You know, pumping it up with your families and with your educators. It could help encourage a greater willingness to participate in something really so positive and exciting, while being intentional about sharing it with leaders such as your cabinet members, your superintendent, your board members. They can get behind it and really support further decision-making and funding. Now, we do have a PTHV week evaluation toolkit. It's on our website. In that toolkit, we have some recommendations on how you can go about sharing that impact. We also have in that toolkit a one-page impact report template that we've created. It's free for to use. It's plug and play. You just take your data, you insert it, and then you can share it out in any number of ways, from newsletters to your social media, to your web pages. You could even use it in a presentation to your school board, which I know some of you are planning on doing here in the coming weeks. So we just go ahead and we're gonna link that template in the chat box so you can kind of easily access it and save it for future use. And then the next suggested step is kind of in that same vein as what we discussed in small groups today. And that is for you to really consider how you're going to uplift this work, which is really at its heart, joyful relationship building. How are you going to uplift this throughout the entire school year, not just during that 1 week? How can you as leaders support educators and families to engage in relationship building home visits? What barriers do you need to address? What systems conditions need to be in place for home visiting to flourish? How do you build support at the grassroots to the grass tops levels? Now, advocacy is a big part of that work. And so we have created a number of other plug and play tools that are available for you to use. We have everything from model school board language for like proclamations and resolutions to sample letters that are tailored to target audiences. All of those you can use. And again, it's all available on our website, and we're also linking it here in the chat box. And last but not least, mark your calendars for our second annual PTHV week, which is slated for the 3rd week of September. Again, our next PTHV week will be held September 18th through the 23rd of 2023. We are already looking forward to the celebration, and we are planning to start promoting and supporting that effort this coming spring. So just kind of keep your eye out for that. And on that note, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to pivot over to Yesenia to take us to the most exciting part of today, and that is our PTHV Week Awards. So Yesenia.
Thank you, Rachel. Good afternoon, everyone. I have the honor of giving out the awards. How exciting it is to be here with all of you today to celebrate in remembrance of, you know, how long this journey has been. It's been almost 25 years, and my heart just gets full every time I see a group of amazing educators and leaders across the country who get together to celebrate what Parent-Teacher Home Visit has accomplished with all of your help. And with that, I really want to thank our district leaders. You know, when we started back in 1996, we knew that they were going to be key and crucial to our little pilot here in Sacramento City Unified School District. And it has been across the country and international. I want to recognize Saskatchewan, Canada as well, because they are a huge part of who we are today. So with that, I really, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank all of you, our district leaders, for setting and creating conditions for parent-teacher home visits to flourish and to be successful at your sites. So thank you so much for your leadership. We wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for all of you. And with that, we know that great work is happening all over the country. And of course, we want to recognize and congratulate everybody that is doing home visits everywhere. Places that we might not even hear from because we've been doing it for so long. Just know that you are all in our heart, and we also recognize you as well. For today, we did look at the at parent-teacher home visit data in a few different ways, both in raw numbers as well as percentage to determine our winners for this year's competition. And with that, these are our exemplary districts who will receive this award today. So what will they receive is a parent-teacher home visit week banner that they can proudly display at their district. So let's start us, we're gonna start us off with Stanford Public Schools. So Stanford Public Schools is a district in Connecticut, and it's being awarded a top performing district for the number of participating educators. Compared to overall number of teachers, Stanford is relatively new to the practice, but they started during the pandemic, and they have deeply engaged and grown their practice very, very quickly in a very short amount of time. And we are very, very proud of you. And you can see the numbers here on your screen. Unfortunately, Dina Booker, who is Stanford's School and Family Resource Facilitator, who oversees this amazing work happening at Stanford Public Schools, was unable to join us today. But we have the pleasure to have with us Deb Wilson, who is a teacher in Stanford Public Schools, who will be accepting the award. Congratulations, Stanford Public Schools, for your excellence. Your excellent work in participating in parent-teacher home visit. I'm going to turn it over to Deb so she can share any words that she would like with us. Deb, are you out there?
Yeah, hi everybody. It's really, I get super nervous speaking in front of adults, so pardon me. I sort of like lose my breath and I forget to breathe. It's an honor to be here with all of you because we're all educators, and so I am representing Dina, but there is no way I'm filling her shoes. I don't know how many of you have met Dina, but she's a rock star. So I've been involved. I was asked to participate when we started the pilot initiative. I think it was 1.5 years ago that we actually started working with PTHV. And I'll just share with you one story. Because there are many, and you know, I learned, I've been doing this, maybe I said 28 years, and I think I learned in like Educator 101 that making connections with families is the way to, you know, be. So this fits in really beautifully. I love the question. It's always my favorite part, like, what are your hopes and dreams? Sometimes parents ask me ahead of time, or family members, like, what are the questions you're going to be asking? And so I'm like, I'll tell you. I'll sometimes send them in an email, you know, and then what's exciting is sometimes I get to share my own hopes and dreams for their children. So I'm working, there's a family that I reached out to last year, mom of a girl who was home. She decided to stay home all through COVID, came back to school last year, was really struggling. And I thought, like, she was that kid who was like an armadillo. He's like, there was no cracking her. And so I thought, that's the kid. I'm going to reach out to that mom. And, you know, I swear to you that made all the difference, because that mom, I was telling Rachel, is absolutely my favorite mom ever. She's a single mom. She has 3 daughters. This one student that we have now is an 8th grader, and she's the youngest, and boy, is she tough. But last year, you know, she wasn't going to class. She was literally like being really unpleasant to her teachers. And this year, it's like she's a new kid. And just the other day, literally, I think it was Halloween night, so Monday night, mom called me. And she said, I'm so sorry, Miss Wilson. I'm so sorry. I've been like call Miss Wilson, don't call Miss Wilson, call Miss Wilson, don't call Miss Wilson. I don't want to bother you at home. But she was asking for some help with, a personal, like a family issue. And I was able to say to her, I'm so glad you called. We're a team, right? Like teaching is a team sport, and to have the families on, I could cry. To have the families on board as part of that team is the biggest gift, so I'm just inspired to continue with all of you. And I really am honored to be able to accept this in Dina's absence. So it's nice to be with all of you. Thank you.
Yesenia, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Deb. Thank you so much for everything that you do and for touching our students and families' lives. I'm going to do my best not to cry after your story. I really appreciate everything that you have done. So we're going to move on. On our next award is going to go to Elk Grove Unified School District. And like Stanford, they are a relatively new district to parent-teacher home visit practice, but have grown exponentially during COVID. Their leaders and educators have really embraced parent-teacher home visit and have made great strides in embedding this in their culture, in the culture of their school district, which is evidenced not just by sheer number of visits, but the number of visits in relation to the total number of students. Congratulations, Elk Grove Unified School District, and congratulations to my dear teacher and friend for all the hard work you have done. Nancy Lopez, you are amazing. Lisette LeMay, Lisa Lavasser, Alma, all of you ladies are wonderful and amazing for everything that you do there. I know I'm forgetting some of the names, but you are all in my heart, and I thank you for all your work. Congratulations. Nancy, you want to come on and say some words?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to start off by just saying thank you all for your support. Anytime I have a question or I need some advice on something, I can always reach out to any of you, and you are right there supporting us. So I thank you. And then, yes, our team, I want to thank our team too, because, you know, Deborah said about a team sport with teaching, but, also with our colleagues here, it's a team sport, getting all this together and out. And, it's not just one person or two, it's a whole team here. So I do have the privilege and the honor of overseeing all the home visits here in our district, which is just, it's incredible for me to be working here and doing this work, but also along with my colleagues that support me. A couple of things I just want to say about just with the week, with PTHV week, kind of more of like the aha moments for me were, I noticed that just, that we didn't have a huge celebration. I'll be honest, we were really just, trying to get ourselves back. Some of us were, transitioning back into our roles. I was pulled out last year, so I didn't was able to do a lot with coordinating visits, but the things that we did do though during the week, as far as just like acknowledging our educators, I think that meant a lot to them. Even though, we know that we do this from our heart. It's not, something that is being pushed or with the model not mandated. And it's amazing to see the numbers. I know that that's just one bit of, of this, but even just for this week, for that week, the 254, and then if you see, overall, just the thousands of visits that are being conducted here. So again, just that acknowledgement to our educators went a long way. I know I received lots of emails just thanking and also, the support that that we give them out at their sites for this to continue. Um, and despite COVID coming along and kind of just making some of these things impossible, one of the things that was possible was the virtual visits, which I think that was actually a good thing for us because it's when families, educators really wanted that connection, and what better way than to do it with home visits? And so our virtual home visits kind of took off, and ever since then, I mean, it's one of those practices that has stayed and is continuing to grow. And now we are going back to in person, so that's exciting to hear that we can actually do both options, and for educators and families and students. So I thank you all, and I will go ahead and end it there.
Thank you so much, Nancy. So with that, we are going to announce our grand prize district winner, and our grand prize district winner gets a free parent-teacher home visit training or service of their choice. And that award goes to Denver Public Schools. Congratulations, Denver Public Schools. You are incredible and amazing. And I just want to really quickly, I know we're running behind a little bit, but I just want to say how proud I am of you for sticking with us all this time, for being our very first founding state out of California. Congratulations. Denver Public Schools has been celebrating parent-teacher home visit for 10 years. And has served as a model for our national observance. They have leveraged that experience to grow their parent-teacher home visit week to what it is today, with over 200 participating teachers conducting 500 home visits during the week of parent-teacher of September 19 through the 24th, our parent-teacher home visit week. Congratulations. Congratulations again, and I'm going to ask Trevin and Brittany to share with us quickly some words if they wish to do so. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, I'll go first. Thank you. So I just this is one of my first PTHV weeks as well, just being in this role. And so it's just so exciting to be a part of this with everybody. And I'll mimic Nancy and thank National PTHV for being so supportive and being there to help along the way and figure it all out together. But then also just a big shout out to all the site coordinators. I'm just the one giving them the information, and they're the one really spreading it out to their educators. And then for our educators who went on all of these visits and did all of these, and I know 2 of them are here with us today. And so I don't want to take their time away from them, but I'm really proud of DPS and then everybody else. It's just so cool to see so many different districts being a part of PTHV week now. And it's just really great to be here today. And thank you all so much.
Yes, I will echo what Brittany said. Just really appreciate being in this space. National program has been immense thought partners for us and bringing us into the right spaces to just keep getting better. And, you mentioned, Rachel, that we have experience. And so this might be something that's not new to us, but we still did learning this year because of the creativity and the ways that others across the nation are really pushing this. And I'm not one who's ever at a loss for words, but this was something that definitely got me really excited. And just to be able to have our educators, so many of our educators be top performers, and to really value this, we got to see it and feel it. And you can just see in some of these photos, just the excitement that people had throughout that week. So thank you so much for recognizing our educators. Brittany is amazing. She continues to do amazing work in making our program that much better and that much easier for our site coordinators to take and run with it at their sites. So just a huge shout out to everybody who makes this work, and also one for our financial specialist, Cindy, who really makes sure that everything keeps moving, keeps everybody paid and happy and all those pieces, but she doesn't get a lot of recognition usually. And so just want to make sure, you recognize those other folks who lift up the processes and just make this a really amazing program and work so effectively. Thank you all.
Thank you, Trevin. And yes, we know, we recognize that Denver Public Schools is a very large district. And they also had the biggest the biggest number in teachers participating and the biggest percentage in students receiving home visits. So congratulations again. Our next awards go to our fabulous, amazing educators. So our educators who won are going to receive a $100 gift card. So congratulations to you all as well. So we're going to start with our first winner. And our first winner is Kelly Mitchell. And you'll see her on our next slide. There she is. There's her beautiful face. Congratulations, Kelly. Kelly did 14 home visits. She's a physical education teacher from Desert Skies Middle School in Washoe County School Districts. Congratulations, Kelly. Our next winner is Amalia Harkin. Amalia, congratulations. Amalia is a third grade teacher from Edward Kimball Elementary School here in Sacramento Unified School District. And yay, Edward Kimball is very close to our heart as well. Well, to mine, my kids went there. She did 21 home visits. Congratulations, Amalia. Our next winner is Annie Walden Newman. Annie did 23 home visits during our parent-teacher home visit week. She's a social worker and she is from John F. Kennedy High School in Denver Public Schools. Congratulations, Annie. Our next winner is Alfredo Rocha Andrade. And Alfredo is at Valverde Elementary School in Denver Public Schools. He is an ELAS teacher and he did 24 home visits. Congratulations, Alfredo. We are very, very honored to have you and to know that you're out there touching our kids and families' lives. Thank you for your work. Our next winner is our grand prize winner. And our grand prize winner is Paz Torres. Paz did 25 home visits. She is an ELAS kindergartner teacher, and she is at Valverde, Denver Public Schools. Paz did the most visits across the country. And as the top educator, her prize will be that she will be joining us for a celebration and learning at IEL Community School and Family Engagement Conference in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 2023. Congratulations, Paz. Thank you so much for all your work, for everything you do, for, again, just like your colleagues, touching, just like Deb, touching our families and making that difference and really connecting. And this is what this is all about. Back in 1996, what you are doing is exactly what I dreamed of, and it's happening. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm gonna ask Paz to come on and say a couple of words, share a home visit story, or just say and share whatever she feels. Paz, are you there?
Yes, thank you. First of all, I love doing home visits. Like, I really do love doing home visits. I like to do them mostly in person because I get to go inside like the students' homes and like get to know, and I get to see pictures, and the students get to like, because they're in kinder, so like they like to show me their rooms and their toys. There's this one time, this is kind of funny, but it's embarrassing. I have IBS, and like sometimes when I eat foods, it doesn't settle in that great. And I was doing a home visit once, and I was like, oh my God, I need to use the restroom. And I was so embarrassed to ask the parent that I had to use the restroom. And then I was like, I'm like, I'm sorry. I was like, I really need to use the restroom. And I explained to her like what I had. And the little boy was like, turns around and is like, it's okay, Miss Torres. You can stink up my bathroom if you want to, because you're my favorite teacher. So that was one of the most memorable stories that I've had from the home visits that I've done. It's like, I can't, like, I cannot. I always tell people that story because I'm like, you see, if I can do it, you guys can do it. Like, I have 3 children, and then I take care of my mom that has Alzheimer's, and like, if I still have enough time to do home visits, that's what I always tell other teachers. I'm like, you guys have time too. And the thing that I love about home visits that I really like get to know the parents, and like stop making like assumptions of why a parent's not involved or why the student misses a lot. Like, I get to know the reasoning for why the child sometimes behaves the way that they behave in class, or why the parents, I don't ever see the parent, because I'm like, I'm always, the mom never comes. Why is the mom not coming? Where's the mom? I don't see her. And then I find out that she's a single mom of like 5 kids, and she's working all day, and that's why I don't get to see her, and she don't answer my calls. But I really do like doing home visits.
Thank you so much, Boss. What a great story. And we're human, right? And that's what this is all about. It's really showing who we are. And this is what shows right here. You have it right here. So I appreciate you. I thank you for all your dedication, for being an ambassador for Parent Teacher Home Visit. I heard it all in your voice. So thank you so much. And I can't wait to meet you in Philadelphia. I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you, and congratulations to all of our winners, our leaders. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of you. With that, that is my piece. I am going to turn it over to DQ so she can take us towards the end of our presentation. DQ.
Yes, thank you, Yesenia, and thank you everybody for sharing. This has been such a treat. I'll really go quickly here because I know we're a little bit over time, but this has just felt like our very own Oscar celebration, hasn't it? Like, it's just been wonderful to see. It's been really, really gratifying to see all of the extraordinary effort of our educators and school staff and leaders all across the nation. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Would that we could celebrate all of you every single day. We know there are just literally thousands of teachers doing this work, doing that work of extending themselves and building those relationships every day all around the country. So I just want to say a big thank you and a big congratulations to everybody. All righty. So as you've heard a couple times now, the next part of our celebration, PTHV week, was actually the kickoff to our silver anniversary celebration. PTHV is celebrating 25 years. And the next part of our celebration will take place at IEL's 2023 National Community Schools and Family Engagement Conference in Philadelphia. So please keep your ear to the ground. Stay tuned for the announcement of the dates of when that will be, but consider this an open invitation to join us there. Lots in store for that. So hope to see you there. And next slide, please. We'd be remiss without giving some special thanks to our diamond level silver anniversary sponsors, the National Education Association and Carnegie Corporation of New York. Without their generous support, none of this would be possible. So very, very grateful for their support. And on our final slide here, I want to just say This is also consider this too an open invitation to stay connected with us. Please join our social media conversations on the platforms listed here. And if you have any questions about PTHV week or how to bring parent-teacher home visits to your school community, this is the contact information for you. All right, and with that, again, congratulations and a very heartfelt thank you to everybody for joining us today and helping us celebrate. This has been just terrific. So thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.